What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So this is something that has been in the news as of late. Look, this ain't a problem that started recently. This has been going on for years, but it's been getting worse and worse with these NBA players not actually playing. Players that ain't playing. Okay? As I said before, statistically, this is a problem that's been gradually getting worse for 20 plus years. Back in 2000, the average all-star player played 77 out of 82 games. And by 2010, that number had dropped to 72. By 2020, that number had dropped to 65. For whatever reason, these guys aren't playing. Now, look, I do want to say this before I go forward. While we tend to focus on the players, and rightfully so, remember, management often dictate when these guys play. Management and their doctors often override the players, especially guys who aren't star players, as far as when they play. So the management deserves a lot of culpability in this as well. But those tend to be the faceless guys in the background that we don't really see. We know the names, we see them from time to time, but they aren't always under the media spotlight. Joel Embiid, what was it? Maybe 2 weeks ago now, a week and a half ago, said that he will not play for the rest of his career back-to-back games. He won't do it. Now, the funny thing about it is the NBA has reduced back-to-back games to their lowest point ever. I did some videos on this channel a couple years ago, I think it was now, where I was telling you the 72 Lakers played something like 34 back-to-backs during their season. I think it was 34. No, I take it back. It was 26 or something. 26. 10 years earlier, Bill Russell's Celtics was playing like 34, 35 back-to-backs. So back-to-backs used to be something that was constantly occurring. The season was more condensed. The NBA seasons back then were starting like in mid-November, ending in March, and it was cramming 82 games into that space. Back-to-back playoff games was something that was a reality as late as the late 90s, I believe, back-to-back playoff games. Despite the fact that these guys don't play back-to-back playoff games anymore, despite the fact that sometimes, especially in the finals, these games are spread out over 3 days, despite the fact that All-Star Weekend is now a whole week, despite the fact that load management is a thing to the point where the NBA had to induce penalties, such as sometimes fines, being ineligible, for awards and selections to penalize the guys. But look, the 76ers did not play Joel Embiid in the opening game against the Milwaukee Bucks, okay? Didn't play him. He's not injured. They just didn't think he's ready yet. Not hurt, but didn't play him. And Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal went in on him. And I agree with Charles saying these aren't steel workers. These guys are not nurses. I'm sorry. I know people like to talk the business part of it. Well, these guys, the organizations have a lot of money invested. I don't care. Okay, honestly, I don't care. And I look at that as pretty much like an elitist argument. It's like an elitist stand to take. I don't care. I talk solely. Now, I do get it, the business part of it. But right now, I'm talking as a fan. It's not fair for dudes. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say dudes. It's not fair for people, but they're female NBA fans too, to pay for these tickets using their hard-earned money. And to this point now, you have sometimes as much as a 1 in 2 chance of paying a season ticket to see your favorite player and to be told that he's not playing, not because he's hurt, but because strategically we think we want him to miss some game. That's not fair to the fans. That's not fair to the multiple media outlets that they have as far as deals with. If you're going to have guys only playing 50, 60 games a year and they're not really hurt, it's not fair, man. I don't know about you guys, but for most of my adult life, I worked manual labor jobs. Okay. There are many times I didn't feel like going to work. Many times. But you got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do, man. Times when you don't feel well. Times when your body ache. Your feet hurt. Your back hurt. Headache. Weather issues. Going to work. Busting your ass. Trying to walk through half a foot of snow. The blistering heat. Monsoon rains. You do what you got to do because we live in the real world. These guys are making millions of dollars and they fucking complain about every goddamn thing. But then they get mad if you don't call them the greatest thing since sliced bread and kiss their ass and put them on these all-time lists, which they shouldn't even be sniffing. So yes, I think everybody should be going in on these guys right now. Zion Williamson, another one. I'm tired of hearing these dudes talk a good game, but then when it comes down to actually playing, somehow they can't fucking play. Never seen a bunch of guys, 22 years old, and they already complaining about my wrist hurt when I dunk. Oh, he's tired. Oh, he's playing 31 minutes, a lot of minutes. The fuck is wrong with this generation of players? What's wrong with these guys? Always complaining. It's ridiculous. I tell all you guys this. I don't know if it's still on YouTube. Look at this old timers game from 1988. Before, I think they stopped it around 93, I think. But the All-Star break used to have old timers games. They had these older players play an actual game. But for insurance reasons, because I think in 93, some of these guys got hurt, older. When I say older, I mean guys that have been retired. Guys playing in their 40s and 50s, right? It was this old timers game, man, in 1988. I think it was Pete. Was Pete Maravich? No, it might have been 87. It might have been 87 because I think Pete Maravich played and he died in 88. So I think it was 87. And you had Bob Cousy. You had Hondo Havlicek. I think Pete Maravich played. So Maravich is like 39. Havlicek is like 47. Cousy's like 58. And they are playing harder in that game than you see some of these clowns with damn near $300 million contracts are playing today in the playoffs. That's what I grew up watching. That's what many of us grew up watching. Look, man, I know these are human beings. They're not robots. They're not rock'em sock'em robots. They're not wind-up toys. I get that. They get hurt. But the reality of sports is this. There's a difference between being injured and being hurt. Everybody gets hurt during the course of the regular season. Nobody goes out there in any sport. Baseball, you're going to have knick-knack, little small injuries. For the most part, you should be able to play through them unless it's a serious injury. That's what enrages me when I keep seeing all these damn wannabe agents essentially working for free from the safety of their laptop, trying to make excuses for these guys. I'm sick of it. By the way, I do want to add this a little bit. I do wonder if the NBA is investigating the Sixers and Joel Embiid, partly because Joel Embiid actually had the balls to critique old man LeBron. I was going to say LeBron, like old man Logan, old man LeBron. You know, my boy was saying like some of these guys ain't the same. They just the numbers and the names on the jerseys and all that. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Go out there and play, man. You know, but yeah, a lot of these organizations are doing some shady shit, man. We see the Clippers and what they was doing with Kawhi Leonard, allegedly, according to that whistleblower. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.